Like the power of what you have with your voice to be able to inspire someone, to be able to lift someone up, to be able to let someone know that they are better than what they think they are, which is exactly one of the reasons why I show up and I speak and I do the Luke Mind Power podcast and I post my fucking dancing videos and I get up and I speak at my events and I do what I do and I motivate and I inspire and I help you to wake the fuck up because you have some power in you that you don't know about yet. I'm Luke and you're listening to the Luke Mind Power podcast. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode on the Luke Mind Power podcast. It's a blessing to be back. It's going to be a lot more power and motivation, inspiration, and everything that you know that I love to deliver on every single episode that I show up. And I'm speaking to you with a little bit of a smirk because I'm excited because there's a lot of changes happening and this is what life is all about. It's about changing. It's about growing. It's about evolving. If you're not fucking changing, then you're dying. What are you waiting for? And that's one of the biggest secrets to your fulfillment in your life is if you have to take a moment right now, and I invite you to take a moment and ask yourself the question, are you growing or are you staying stagnant? Is anything changing in your life, or are you that person that's in your own way? You're going around in circles and expecting shit to change, but nothing's changing. And that's where you'll find yourself realizing that, you're the one that's in your own way. And it's probably one of the hardest truths that I had to realize in myself is that, I was going around in circles doing the same shit for 9.5 years in the same job, same people, doing the same shit. And I was expecting my life to change, not realizing that the person that changes your life is yourself. You're the one that changes your life. We're sold this fucking bullshit about retirement. Let's talk about that crap. I remember when I first started this journey and I wrote a quote. I remember it's on my Instagram. Go down. It's red. And it says, you'll never think about retirement when you're doing what you love. When you do what you love, you'll never think about retirement. We're sold this fucking bullshit story about think about your fucking superannuation. They give you a job and they tell you, they're fucking programming you. This is a really good way. Pay attention. Get your fucking job, $70,000 a year, $80,000 plus super. Fucking what a fucking sale. Plus superannuation, or in America and the US, it's fucking 401k. Think about your fucking death when you start working with us. That's what you're sold. Think about fucking 30 years time, what you're going to be doing so that you've got enough money so that you can just get by when you're fucking 65 and 70 years old. So why am I sharing this with you? Why am I so passionate about sharing this? Because, man, Bob Proctor was a prime example, right? If you don't know who Bob Proctor is, go on YouTube and type in Bob Proctor and you'll see this old bloke who was an amazing speaker and he was doing what he loved until he fucking died. There was no fucking, I'm fucking 75, I'm 80 years old, now I'm going to fucking go home into a nursing home and fucking die. Because that's really what happens, eh? Retirement is like preparation for death. What are you going to do when you stop working? You're just going to fucking sit on the lounge and watch Netflix and shit. I think that it's really important for you to pay attention to what it is that you're doing because it's important for you to ask yourself the question, what is my life's work? I remember listening to Les Brown and he said the same shit. He said, take the time to figure out what is my life's work? What am I here for? What do I do that I'm just so passionate about that when I talk about it, I fucking light up? It's funny. I was having this conversation with Danilo today as well. And he was telling me about, someone that he's working with. And he was saying, when she talked to me, her face lit up. I could feel the passion, I could feel the excitement of what she was sharing to me. And I was like, yeah, that means that you're passionate about it. Like that's like your calling. And so if you haven't figured that out yet, that means you haven't figured yourself out. And how do you figure yourself out, and that's the even bigger question, most people are like, well, I haven't figured that out yet. So I'm not sure. Some of you guys are like in your 40s and 50s and 60s and you think it's too late. If you haven't become successful by now, well, it's too late. Or if you haven't got your house or you haven't, achieved what you thought you would achieve, it's too late. It's like, it's not too late. Like you're meant to be listening to this podcast right now. You're meant to be on YouTube. You're meant to be on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. There's a reason why you're here and you're watching and you're listening right now. You can take it for granted if you want, or you can tune into the frequency of what it is that I'm projecting towards your spirit right now. And you can go, let me just keep listening for a moment because this is valuable to me and this is going to plant some positive seeds in my mind to make me think a little bit differently that may change the trajectory of my fucking life. And I was talking to my manager today, and I said to her about a story that I've shared this before, but I'll share it again because it's so powerful. And I remember working in Service New South Wales, RTA, government department. It was my first year as a trainee, as a customer service officer. I was getting paid 24,000 Australian dollars per year as a trainee, which is probably about 15,000 US dollars. And I remember one time I was on the counter. This lady came up, and she was obviously waiting, and she came up with her license or her document of whatever paperwork she had. And she said to me, she looked at me and she said, "Luke, you're better than this. You don't belong here." And, I've had moments where, I'm serviced by people, or I remember buying sunglasses in Chatswood in Sydney. And after the lady sold me, the girl, she was a young girl, she sold me the glasses that I bought. I asked her, I said, "Do you have a dream?" And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, okay, maybe you don't have a dream." I said, "But if you ever have one," I said, "make sure you follow it and you never give up on it. No matter what anyone says, you go for it and you fucking achieve it." And she just looked at me like in shock. I was in the US and I went through Carl Jr.'s burgers and drive-through, and there was a kid there and I gave him $10 as a tip. And then I said, "Hey man," I said, "if you have a dream," I said, "never fucking give up on it, man. No matter what anyone says, you keep going." And he looked at me and he goes, "Thanks, man." He goes, "You don't understand how much I needed to hear that." So I learned from that lady while I was working at that government department, and her planting that seed, like the power of what you have with your voice, to be able to inspire someone, to be able to lift someone up, to be able to let someone know that they are better than what they think they are. That's fucking powerful. Whoever she is, it would be amazing if I could meet her one day and she could see who I am, because she played a part in me waking up to my greatness, which is exactly one of the reasons why I show up and I speak and I do the Luke Mind Power podcast and I post my fucking dancing videos and I get up and I speak at my events and I do what I do and I motivate and I inspire and I help you to wake the fuck up, because you have some power in you that you don't know about yet. And it's a process. It doesn't happen straight away. Just because I'm planting some seeds and I'm reminding you that you're better than who you think you are, and you can do better than what you've done so far, that, it took me 10 fucking years, man. 2009 is when that lady said that to me. 2009. It's 2023. I started this journey 2018. So 9 years. Success is not just something that happens overnight. It's something that happens when you persevere, when you don't give up, when you keep going, when you keep taking action. You see, we don't have the patience, and that's why we need faith. When you have faith and when you believe, it gives you patience. It gives you patience to persevere, to keep showing up, to not give up, to not quit on yourself, to keep going, to know that, hey, if you have the right mindset and you think correctly, then you'll get what you're working for. And that's one of the challenges that we all struggle with, is we don't keep going because we haven't achieved it yet. We lose patience, we lose faith, and then we think, oh, you know what? I'm never going to be successful. There's all these other people that are successful. Maybe it's not meant to be for me. Well, guess what? If you keep saying that shit, it's not meant to be for me. Well, then fucking guess what it's going to be? It's not going to be meant for you because you keep saying that shit. Everything that you say is what you fucking become. Pay attention. You're the one that's conditioning your mind all the time. You're programming yourself every time you speak because your mind is paying. You're listening to the Luke Mind Power podcast, by the way. And this is Luke Mind Power, and I'm fucking reminding you of how powerful your mind is, okay? No, I'm not a fucking psychologist. No, I haven't gone to university. No, I don't have no fucking degrees. No, ask me what my fucking qualifications are. I'll tell you, I fucking live life. I never fucking gave up on myself. I let my fears, my doubts, my insecurities fucking control me for many, many, many fucking years. And I know that you got the same fucking shit too. And you're here for a fucking greater reason than you understand. And no, you don't need no qualifications to fucking overcome your fucking pain. You need to wake the fuck up. You need to believe in yourself. You need to love the shit out of yourself. You need to surround yourself with the right fucking people. Stop looking outside for the answers when the answers are fucking inside of you. But see, that's not the conventional way, because someone will tell you that you're fucking depressed and you'll go, okay, let me go to the fucking pharmacy and get some fucking drugs and start putting fucking drugs in my fucking body because someone told me I'm fucking depressed. instead of changing your fucking environment, instead of listening to some fucking powerful motivational podcast, instead of fucking doing things differently, instead of fucking leaving what you've fucking been doing for fucking so many years and going, well, maybe it's something I need to change in my life, because if I keep doing the same shit, I'm going to keep feeling the same. Things are never going to change if I keep doing it. And you're going, hey, you know what? I've been fucked up. I've been traumatized. I've been abused. I've been through some really bad shit. And I'm going to go and speak to someone else who hasn't fucking been through that shit. And I'm going to listen to them. And I'm going to let them tell me what I need to fucking put in my body. And you know who the fuck I'm talking to? I'm talking to you. And that's fucking hitting you hard right now, because you're like, oh my gosh. Because you know how many fucking people I have worked with that have come off medication because they learned to fucking love themselves, because they learned that their environment was fucking toxic. Like, I'm pissed off because too many people, too many of my clients are fucking having the same experiences. They keep doing the work and I'm hearing the same shit. I've been to therapy for years and I've never got the results that I'm getting fucking working with you. I've been taking medication for years and now I'm fucking stopped. So that's why this is so important. You got to pay attention. You got to listen. You got to take action, because for things to change, you have to change. Otherwise, nothing will change. And so this is one of the bigger lessons that I had to learn myself. And you know what? I was pretty stunned at the beginning. I never appreciated how powerful and important life was. Your experiences, everything that you've been through, like, you literally have the power to save people's lives. But first you got to save yourself. First you got to pour into yourself. First, you got to give back to yourself before you can help other people. And so once you realize that you have the power to change, you have the power of choice, you have the power of decision, you have the power to show up for yourself, then you realize that the system is broken. Then you realize that they don't want you to win. Then you realize that they want you to play small. Then you realize they want you to fucking live in fear. They don't want you to be successful. If they wanted you to be successful, they would teach all this shit in school. So it's up to you to figure it out. You know, comparing myself to my friends, comparing myself to the people around me, looking at what other people were achieving. And quite frankly, because of the lack of confidence in myself and self-love for myself, I was just lost. I was lost in thinking that this is all there is. I was lost in thinking that, well, maybe because I'm not good at school, or I wasn't good enough to get good grades or good marks. Because I honestly, I think that the teachers probably just gave me a break and gave me 50% just to make me feel like I wasn't a failure. But there was no I think my best mark was maybe 70% or something like that. But I fucking hated school, and I was one of the special kids. Because, and then, my mum sent me, there's nothing wrong with going to a tutor, but, my mum tried to send me to go to this thing called Kumon, which was to teach you about maths. I needed to learn about maths, even though fuck maths, but it's good. No judgment, if anyone likes algebra and shit like that. But yeah, I didn't like school, and so what happens if you don't like school? What happens? You still get pushed into it. You still get pushed to learn and to do English and do this and that, whatever. You know what I mean? And times are changing. The world is evolving. YouTube is one of the best educational platforms on the planet. The school system definitely has some flaws. But again, it's where do kids go? And that's why a lot of people actually, obviously, I know I've heard a lot of people do homeschooling. Because then they have a bit more power and control over what they teach their kids, which is good. But from me growing up, and I think that there's a lot of people like me that, went to school, they wouldn't let me go back to year 11 and 12 to finish that because my grades were so shit, and they wouldn't accept anyone who wasn't doing well to continue being in the school. How about that? So then what do I do? Well, then they say, well, we've got this carpentry program that we do for 12 months, and it's called the Beckett program, and you go to this school in this suburb, and it's basically for people who don't know what to do, or drop kicks, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? So that's where I ended up. I ended up going to, because, you're not finishing school. So that means you're not going to get your HSC mark, right? So you don't get a UAI or whatever the fuck it is, so that you can get into university. So then what do? I'm like, well, I'm going to do the carpentry program. So go to the Becker program. So I go there, and then I finish that, not like finish and pass and shit like that. I just did what I needed to do. You did the assignments, you built some fucking horses and shit, like woodwork, whatever. Hang around. Most of the boys were smoking weed there anyway, and we're just all hanging around and shit. And then you finish that, and then what happens? I'm like, well, fuck, I don't know what to do now. What am I going to do now? I don't want to be a carpenter. I didn't want to do that. And so then I asked my sister, and I said, what should I do? Well, I don't know if I asked her, but she said, well, why don't you go back to TAFE, which was like kind of college, to finish your school certificate, higher school certificate. So I went back, and what do you think happened? It was the same shit, man. I don't know, what, 50%, 50%, 50% in every single freaking class. Like, I didn't like it. I wasn't that inclined to sit there and read textbooks and fucking do assignments and all this bullshit. I would always have all my assignments, or would do them in the last night. Oh shit, this is due. Oh, quickly, fucking. I couldn't care less about that crap. And mum was freaking. Dad was working, and mum had her social life. So it was very hard for mum to be on top of everything. There was freaking 4 kids in the house, and for her to be managing. By the time I got to high school, my other sisters were finishing as well. So, I know mum sometimes tried to like push me to do my homework and shit like that, but she had her own things going on, and then I wasn't interested. I was fucking trying to watch Melrose Place and 90210 and fucking porn and shit, whatever, So, like, for a kid like me at that age, and, I also knew that I wasn't developing at the same rate as the other kids at school. Hence why I always refer to myself as being very lanky and skinny, and that because my body was like a delayed. Like, I've been given really good genes because it's benefiting me right now. Because if you look at me, you go, he's not 39. I go, I know, I'm 27. I'm fucking young. I feel young. I've got very good genes. But back when I was 15, 14, 16, 17, 18, I was delayed. Reaching puberty, I knew I was fucking pubic hairs weren't coming out. Like, facial hairs weren't coming out. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me, man? So all of this stuff is like leading me on this journey of insecurity, comparing myself to others, not feeling like I fit in. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. Looking at people around me that I'm surrounded by that are going to university, that are getting fucking good jobs after that, and they're becoming more successful and all this kind of shit, right? So how do you think that programs me? I get lost in their lives, not knowing my power, not knowing my worth, feeling very inadequate, insecure within myself. Insecure. What does that mean? Not valuable. And then if I've got nothing to give, then I am nothing. And I think that's what we all want is we want to be someone. We want to feel like someone. And that's really, like, I guess, the internal struggle that I went through all my life. And then it was beautiful because I was also going through these relationships that never ended up working out for me, which was absolutely amazing for me because it also validated for me when I was being rejected by, certain relationships that I really wanted to be in. They were also validating for me that I wasn't enough. And rejection is one of the most uncomfortable experiences that you can ever go through when you love someone or you really want to be with someone, but they don't want to be with you. And so you give and give and give. And that's why I'm saying it's such an amazing experience, because what they did for me is they actually added fuel to the fire to remind me that I was not enough, which now, like, I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, wow, that was so good. Like, yes, come into my life and tell me that I'm fucking not enough, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not worthy of success, that I'm not worthy of achieving happiness, that I'm not worthy of being successful. I'm not worthy of attracting healthy relationships into my life. I'm not worthy of feeling confident in who I am. And that's what rejection did for me. And if you're listening on YouTube right now or any other platform, let us know in the chat if you can relate. So now what we're doing is we're doing like a bit of reverse psychology. And no, I'm not a psychologist, but I'm very, very, very intelligent. Okay. And I'm very aware of the mind. So, what these experiences have done for us when we have no self worth, no self confidence, when we don't believe in ourselves, when we shrunken ourselves, dimmed our light, we don't speak up for ourselves, we're living in fear and insecurity and doubt, and our mind has been so conditioned and programmed by every single fucking thing around the world that you are not good enough, you're not capable, and that there's so much negativity out there, and that's just seeping into your subconscious. And so now you're just living in this lower frequency, this low vibrational frequency of like, I don't know if I can do it, I can't do it, I can't speak my truth. Right, I'm scared to be me. I'm scared to be authentic. And then with all of that and that insecurity of like, I'm not smart enough, I'm not intelligent enough, I can't learn, right? The struggle there, then comes along the relationships and the rejections. And then do you blame yourself for thinking that you're not good enough? Like, just don't blame yourself. Just appreciate it. It's beautiful. It's great. These people that came into your life and then you felt rejected by them, like take a moment and say, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, Buddha. Fucking thank you, God. Thank you for bringing these people into my life and fucking rejecting me and hurting me so that I could feel the pain of not feeling good enough. Because, ladies and gentlemen, man, the harder your fucking journey is, the more powerful you are. And I need to remind you of this. It is so painful. It's so uncomfortable. But it is the best fucking thing that you could ask for in your life, is to be rejected, is for people to remind you that you're not good enough. It's the best thing that you could ever ask for, because I am where I am, and I am as successful as I am, and I will continue to grow and transform and live my freaking best life, because I will continue to do the opposite of what most people think I fucking am, which is not good enough, not intelligent enough, not smart enough, not fucking good looking enough, not fucking tall enough, not short enough, not enough, period. And I continue to turn around and say, fuck you. I fucking tell myself who the fuck I am, not you. That's not your responsibility. You didn't fucking come into my life to tell me and define me about how I'm supposed to feel about myself, because you can't fucking love me the way that I deserve to be loved, that I know I deserve to be loved a specific way because of how much I give and who I am and how I open my heart. Whose responsibility is that? Yours? So I'm giving my power away to you so that you can choose, and you can say, well, you know what? I live outside of your body, so I'm going to be the one that tells you that you're not good enough because I'm living in your body. Yeah, you're fucking in me, aren't you? So you've got the power to say, yeah, you ain't good enough, man. You can't achieve shit. You can't do shit. You can't learn. You can't be better. You can't attract a healthy relationship into your life. You can't become successful. You can't own your own house or fucking mansion or Ferrari or whatever the fuck you want to achieve or buy. Cottage in the forest. You can't do that. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. No problems. Well, thank you for reminding me that I can't do it. Well, now I'm going to fucking believe that. I'm going to think that, and I'm going to not achieve it because you said that I can't do it. It's so good. We listen to people who have limited ways of thinking. And it's not to say that they're wrong either, you know. Henry Ford says, you know, if you think you can and you think you can't, you're right. And that's why I say anyone who tells me what I can and can't do, they are right. You are right. Because my job is not to correct you or tell you what's right or wrong. My job is to believe what I believe and to achieve what I want to achieve, and to know that there are no limits in life, just the limits that you create in your own fucking head. And if you want to have limits, have them. I don't. Just because your reality is not where you want it to be right now doesn't mean it can't change. If you understand the power of your head, this thing right here, you'll understand your future, because your future is created in your mind. You have such a beautiful thing called imagination. And if you start using your imagination in the right way, you will start to manifest everything that you want in your life. But, you know, there's some building blocks and there's some bricks you need to lay, and there's a foundation and there's an environment and there's some action that's required. So don't get it twisted and freaking expect things to change and like life is just going to get better just like that, or fucking, money's going to fall out of the sky and shit like that. Like, stop being fucking ignorant. Come back to fucking the present moment and realize that every single day I get to choose what I do that helps me to become a better version of myself. What are you doing? Ask yourself the question, man. Pay attention. What kind of improvements are you making in your life every day? What are you learning? What are you investing your time in? Who the fuck are you talking to? Don't take advice from people who don't have what you fucking want. You want someone, you want confidence, you want self-love? Talk to fucking me. Talk to someone who has it. You want success? Talk to someone who's fucking achieved it. You're surrounding yourself with the same people and you're trying to achieve the next level. But the next level is where those people that you're surrounding yourself with are not on, but you're trying to take advice from them. Doesn't it make sense? Stop listening to people who haven't been where you're going. And you're like, oh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, maybe I'll try that. And man, time flies. Time flies. Where you could be in 5 years, if I look at the last 5.5 years for me, man, I'm like, I'm so glad I started then. I'm so glad I took action. I'm so glad I left everyone I was hanging around with. I'm so glad that I decided that, I was going to show up for myself, as you can do the same thing right now. It doesn't matter where you're at in your life. I don't care if you're 70 years old. Don't make excuses. You can sit there, be in your own head and think, I'm too old or it's too late. It's like, well, if whatever you're doing is working for you, keep going. But if it's not, just know that you can change. Just know how your energy can shift if you change your environment, if you change the way you're living your life. Because nothing changes if nothing changes. That's the truth. And so this is the power that you have within yourself to realize that, you know what, you have so much that's available to you, for you, that can take you to the next level. And that's exactly why I'm here. So I'm excited to be back. Another podcast on the Luke Mind Power podcast. I did ask for your advice, guys, and I said, hey, what do you think? Should I change the podcast name? I remember when I was in North Carolina. I'm back in Dubai now, and it's so good to be back in Dubai. Fucking the energies here is just ridiculous, man. And I kind of like it, man, because like I'm a pretty simple dude, right? And I'm walking around in thongs and shit, and like, this is what I'm wearing, walking around. But like everyone here where I live is like full in like Rolexes and Fendis and fucking Louis Vuittons and Gucci bags and G-Wagons and Ferraris and Rolls Royces and shit. And I'm just fucking strolling around. And I don't know, man, it's cool. I like to be different. I like to be unique. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wearing, brands or anything like that. I'll get a Ferrari one day. But I'm just saying, the energy's here. Like, you feel the success, man. Like, you feel the success. It's fucking ridiculous. And that's one of the reasons why I moved here as well, is because I love this energy. I love, the affluence is, and that's why I always talk about your environment. Who you surround yourself with is whom you become. What you see is what you get conditioned with. But yeah, this whole journey, is something that you're in control of. So I'm really excited to be back. And I like I was talking about the Luke Mind Power podcast in North Carolina. I was thinking like maybe I should change the name, but after careful consideration and some of your comments, I've thought about it and I'm just like, no, you know what? I'm not going to change shit. Like, Luke Mind Power is the brand. Luke Mind Power is an icon. And that's what everybody is going to see, know me by. LMP, I'm not changing nothing. That's what it is. That's what I've had since the beginning, and that's how it's going to stay. Okay. But it's so great to spend some more time with you guys. I hope that you got a lot of value out of this episode. Please do me a huge favor as well. If you haven't subscribed to Sunshine Ambazina, I forgot to mention her at the beginning of the podcast, but she does these auctions on YouTube. And if you're into amber, or fashion accessories, necklaces, bracelets, and stuff like that. She gets her amber from Eastern Europe, from Poland, and she makes these amazing decorations or fashion accessories and stuff like that. The link for her YouTube channel, she does these live auctions on YouTube. So go and subscribe to her YouTube channel and join her, and you might find something beautiful that you love for yourself or for your mum or whatever. And also, just to mention as well, a few other announcements. If you're listening on Spotify or on Apple and you haven't left me a 5-star rating or review, massively goes a long way. Please do me a huge favor and leave me a 5-star rating on Spotify. It's at the top of the Luke Mindpower podcast page. You'll see a star there. And then also on the Apple podcast platform, if you're listening on your Apple iPhone, you're also able to give me a 5-star rating and leave a review. Let us know what you love about the podcast, what you enjoy about it. And then the last announcement is there's another event coming up. Yeah, that's right. I'm not mucking around. I'm freaking coming back to Australia at the end of December. And so I thought, man, I grew up in my freaking Sydney, and it's time to show up with an Unlock Your Greatness conference live in person, and there will be live stream tickets available as well, because I want everyone to join, of course. But this is a conference. This is a full day event. So it is going to be absolutely extraordinary. The link is in the description below to get your tickets. And you can also purchase the tickets on my Instagram page as well. Another super surprise about this conference and this live event in Sydney, which is on the 4th of January, 2024, is that it is also going to be having someone who's phenomenal and has been on this journey with me as well. And so this special guest, his name is DJ Danilo, is in that building. So if you love Danilo and you've seen us dance, then guess what? You're going to get to meet us in person, and you're also going to get to dance with us, because he's going to be DJing the whole freaking day. Okay. So we're also going to be doing interviews and sharing our stories, and you can have a Q&A with him as well. And there's also VIP tickets as well for a mixer and networking cocktail event at the end of the conference as well. So the tickets are available on my website, lukemindpower.com/home, or below in the description on the YouTube channel. There's a link there for the event on the 4th of January, or you can also purchase the tickets through my Instagram profile. There's a link there. Get the tickets because in-person tickets will sell out very, very quickly. So I can't wait to see you guys in person or virtually at the Unlock Your Greatness live conference. It's a full day event from 9 till 4, and then we have a 2-hour event, which is a VIP party from 5 till 7. So get ready for that shit, because that is going to be the best way that you can ever start another new year, which is 2024. And we are going to make sure that 2024 is the best year of your life, because you're going to start it right with Luke Mindpower and DJ Danilo in the motherfucking house. Come on, baby. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to rip the shit out of that stage. And I'm going to speak some fucking powerful motivation into your soul that you're going to wake up and you're going to realize, oh my goodness, I needed to be there. This changed my whole life. And it's going to be an event that you remember for the rest of your life, because you're going to be that person that says, you know what? I've been to so many conferences, I've done so many programs, this and that, but that was that moment, man. 2024, January the 4th, I went to that event. I danced, I partied, I grew, I had some breakthroughs, I transformed, and that energy in that space changed my whole life. And most importantly, you'll make new friends, because there'll be so many people that are like-minded, taking action so that they can grow and step into their greatness. Most importantly, unlock your greatness. 4th of January. Can't wait to see you guys there. Anyway, love you and leave you guys. Never give up on your dreams. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace out. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and growth. If you're ready to grow and reach your full potential and find inner peace, send me a DM that says, I want inner peace, and I'll send you the next steps. You can accomplish anything you set your mind to. When you change your mind, you change your whole life. So don't hesitate and send that DM over to me. Myself and my team can't wait to meet you and witness your transformation in full glory. See you next week.